Well, hey, Facebook. Happy Thursday night. Thank you for popping in. I have the amazing Dr. Michael Gross here with a phenomenal message for everybody. So here you go, Michael. Just say hello and then we'll chat a little bit.
All right, thank you, everyone. I'm Dr. Michael Gross, author of The Spiritual Primer. By that, you probably know that. But thank you for joining us. We've got a very important message to deliver to you tonight. So stay tuned, as they say, or they said that years ago on the old radio shows. But as my dear friend, my book coach, Patrick Snow, there's a plug for him. He said, "How did it feel to vote for Abraham Lincoln?" And I told him it was wonderful. So I've been here a long time. But thank you for joining us. And so much to share with you this evening. Lots of things. So I'll let you do the intro.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. We have a continuing topic that Michael started 2 weeks ago. So I'm thrilled to hear what he has to say about our topic today. But before we get going, I always like to take a minute to thank everybody for joining us. Thank you, Michael, for sharing your valuable time with us and sharing your inspirational messages with us. So, on that note,
Excuse me.
I'm going to go ahead and just introduce you to Dr. Michael Gross
Please do.
because we all need to know a little bit more about this amazing man. Dr. Michael Gross is an author, professional keynote speaker, transformational coach, and an entrepreneur. For more than 3 decades, he's been on a spiritual path as an intuitive, a healer, a spiritual counselor, and an incredible teacher. Through the guidance of spirit, Michael has assisted others in their personal quest for self empowerment, helping them to create the lives that they have long sought and to bring forth their intuitive abilities. Michael currently teaches classes in spirituality, self empowerment, Reiki, and other modalities. By the way, this is the only piece that we scripted so that I could make sure I give him all the credit that he deserves to have. The rest is completely information that Michael channels. Sorry about that. And um, anyway, I just wanted to let you know that this is the only part that's scripted. Everything else just comes. All right. So, in concert with God, the true source, Michael has also achieved great success and miraculous healings. He remains humble, knowing that the work that he does all comes from God, the true source. Michael lives in Lakewood, Washington, and has just launched his nonprofit. Please take a minute to just share a tiny bit about the nonprofit, and then we'll get into the topic, okay?
Yes, it's called the International Institute of Self Empowerment, which we affectionately call TISE, TIISE. It's all about helping people to find their self, to learn about self worth, self love, and self esteem. And Tia, as you know, wrote a book, Healing the Holes in Your Soul. And this is the book she wrote. And it's about survival and being of abuse. And so I elected to donate and my time and energy, and so is Tia, to do the first arm, there's 12 arms, so to speak, of the International Institute of Self Empowerment. And it's all about assisting abused women, children, and men. And I'm honored because she chose and allowed me to nominate her to be director of that division. So thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Michael, for asking me to be part of it. I'm honored to be part of it. And we can go into this one and speak for half an hour, but I think what we need to do is get to the topic because that's what everybody's waiting for, right, Michael?
Absolutely. So I'd like
Okay,
to
so
talk to you about,
I'm sorry. You go ahead. The topic is preparing for reincarnation, part 3, and I'm going to mute myself out, okay?
no problem. So this is part three. And the first two parts I would encourage all of you to listen to if you haven't. Most important thing for us to realize is, and I'll just give a little synopsis of the background very briefly. Before we incarnate, we choose to learn whatever valuable lessons or karma that is important to us. And it boils down to self worth, self love, and self esteem. And how we live through that and learn it can be very arduous, painful, could last for years or even another lifetime, or you can make it as short as you so desire. But what's important is that we need to take responsibility to learn about self-worth, self-love, and self-esteem. Therefore, you chose your parents, whatever maladies they have or imperfections or whatever, you chose them because you would learn something. And of course, you chose your siblings, if you have any, excuse me, your friends, your relatives, all your education, those you're married or spouses or whatever. So everything in your life, even your jobs, everything you've done has led you up to a point where now, those of you who are listening to this, no matter what age you are, is that you are about to realize that I can accept this self-worth, self-love, and self-esteem, and realize that everything in my life that I went through, no matter how arduous, how painful, how much grief, tears, pain, everything it caused in your life, has got you to this point where now you're ready to understand it, heal it, and release it. And here's the most beautiful part. If you will do that and heal it and release it, and we'll talk about how to do this, then it's over and done with. And you don't get what I call the round trip ticket, which means, no, you didn't get it right. No problem. You got to come back. No, 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 no. Yes, 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 because you avoided it and you let your ego, edging God out, stop you from doing it because you really didn't want to face the pain. Well, I agree with you. I don't want to face pain either, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. But once you realize you're here to heal and to overcome whatever karma, to learn about self worth, self love, and self esteem, then at this point in your life, you have a decision. Want to put it off another 20, 30 years? Go right ahead. You want to take care of it now? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Or do you want to learn it in another lifetime? Not me. I certainly don't. But here's what's going on around us. And it's certainly important for you to realize this. So here you have these challenges in life. Notice the word challenge because challenge can be overcome. And you have to face the music, as they say, face whatever is going on in your life. Now you can choose to avoid it, or you can choose to accept it and move forward. And here's the other part of the challenge. Because we as human beings, we're not taught about self-worth, self-love, and self-esteem. We're not taught about loving ourselves. We're not taught about critical thinking. We go, is this the right thing? Is this the right thing? What do you think, John? What do you think, Jane? And everybody's got an opinion. And so if you went to 100 people, there are 100 opinions. Worst of all, you know the old story, if you tell a story and the person keeps repeating it, by the time you get to the 100th person, it's like not even close to what you said. But that's part of our human experience, how we embellish and we add our own 2 cents to make things look good. But in fact, things are good because you chose to be here and the healing can take place. And that's what's so important. That's part of your incarnation. So they call karma all kinds of names, but I just call them lessons, experiences to empower you. And Dharma with a D is positive karma, so to speak. So, everybody I gave $1 million to, must be 50 people watching this. You all owe me $50 million, $1 million a piece, because that's my Dharma. So I thought you get a kick out of thinking about that. But in truth, we have to look at ourselves. And that's one thing we don't. And then we run to religiosity. Oh, we're going to be healed. It's going to be taken away. Not. It's not going to be. It's not that your pastors or religious people don't want to help you, because they do. But the decision is up to you. You're the one that can make a difference. You're the one that can bring about love and joy and happiness. You're the one that can bring about healing. Or you can remain stuck. So there's an old cliche, argue for your limitations and you own them. And so when I work with a person and they said, I can't, I go, you won't, you won't, you won't. Then they get upset with me and angry with me because I push their button. Well, that's important. So when somebody pushes my button, my heart beats, I get a little flush, get a little excited. Then I realize this is my problem. This is something I have to face. This is something I have to heal. They're nothing but a messenger. But of course, you heard the old cliche, don't shoot the messenger, right? They're just a messenger. But what do? We shoot the messenger by putting them down, screaming and yelling, and we're running and avoiding. But what I've learned in life, you can run from a situation, but always come back and hit you in the face. You can run, keeps coming back. Pretty soon, instead of hitting you in the face, like say with water, or maybe now lemons, it's a ton of bricks. And then you go, now I got to do something. So what do I do? So maybe you go to a counselor. That'll help, but not entirely. Now, I'm not criticizing counselors because I do counseling, or psychologists or psychiatrists. But you go to a psychiatrist and they push a pill, oh, and then you feel good and you got to have more pills. Or you go to a psychologist, right? And they talk about the thing and they talk about it. They help you to understand it, but you don't really release it. So I'm going to hesitate for a minute because I know Tio has something to say. Go ahead.
I do. I have experience from counselors and whatnot, and you are exactly spot on for what you're saying, Michael. Um, I kept looking, it's easy for them, with no disrespect to them, they have a place in our healing.
Yes, they
They
do.
truly have a place in our healing. However, um, what you offer to us is that extra step. Okay, I got diagnosed with all kinds of things. I don't need to go into that. But the bottom line was that we choose whether we're going to follow um, what our soul tells us, the thoughts of our soul. For me, it was like, no, there's still something missing. For me, it was like I kept looking for the answer and I didn't get the answer until I found you, until I met you. And I thought, this is the missing piece that so many people fall short of. They think they're okay, right? They think they're okay. But can you just explain why it's so important that we focus on that extra step?
Perfect. Thank you. So, as you said, we think we're okay. Now, I'm not demeaning psychiatrists and counselors and so on. Not at all. They do contribute a great deal. But here's what's missing. Part of the key is to understand, why are you experiencing this? My mother, my father, my husband, my wife, my sister. Yeah, agreed. There's no argument there. Why did you choose them to be in your life? Why did you come into this to experience it? Ding, 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 ding. Self worth, self love, and self esteem. Ding, 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 ding. I came in to experience this. Okay, that's important. So you take ownership of it. The next thing you need to understand, why? What's missing? And so when you understand, it boils down to self worth, self love, and self esteem. Maybe you became addicted to something or other because you didn't feel good about yourself. You didn't love yourself. You didn't understand yourself. But as you begin to understand that about self worth, self love, and self esteem, you don't look on the outside for someone to say, oh, love yourself. Oh, forgive yourself. Oh, it's okay. Oh, you're a victim. No, you take ownership, you feel it, and then you ask from a soul level, why did I create this in my life? And then you begin to discover something that's happening. And as you begin the discovery, and there's a process in which can't talk for other people, but I am blessed to work with the true source because everybody, I want you to know I'm just a conduit to bring up the energy. But have you look at it 4 dimensions, 5 dimensions, inside, outside, backwards, forward, inside it. Once you learn that technique, and then you understand why you learned it. And when the bell goes off, oh, that's the reason. Then the step 2 is to really, with all your heart, thank them for being a teacher. Thank them for bringing it up because you chose them to do it. You really did. Sometimes you go, why did I choose them? Why did I choose that? Yeah, I felt that way. Believe me, I have. Then afterwards, after you realize you thank them with all your heart, not I give thanks for these SOBs, no, I give thanks for these beautiful souls. Then you ask what you're to learn, which you will discover easily. And then you need to forgive yourself, not them. If you choose to forgive them, that's fine. But really, they were a teacher. Everybody in your life is a teacher. As in my role, I go, sometimes I'm the teacher and sometimes I'm the student. And I wear two hats. I'm the teacher, I'm the student. I'm the healer, and I learn. I'm the victim, and I'm not the victim, I'm in charge. So, all this process, which is part of my process that I had to go through. And I will tell you that I probably haven't shared this, but working with the true source or God, the true source. Let me tell you, some things were brought up. I was angry. I was ticked off. I was sweating, perspiring. I didn't want to answer. I was growling at myself. And then finally said, okay, I'll let it go. And then I learned and released it and was healed. And then next thing came up and I fought it less and less and less and less. And it went quick, 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 easy, 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 easy. And easy for you, difficult for me. Remember some of the comedians that used to do that. All right. But our life can be as simple as easy as we want it to be. For me, I don't want to reincarnate here. I'm done. I'm finished. I want to go on vacation. And that's what I call when you're birthed out of your body, going on vacation. You're having a good time, you're having a ball, and you're honored for all your experiences and everything you've learned. Isn't that great? And I use the euphemism, hey, when I cross over, I want a ticker tape parade. I want filet mignon, prime ribs, lobster, and Dom Perignon, that real expensive champagne. A lot of my friends, and I want to party, not get drunk, but party. Well, of course, it's not that way when you cross over. You will feel the most unconditional love and most unconditional appreciation for what you've gone through. Now, these may seem as idle words, but when the time comes, you go, that guy, Michael something or other, yeah, he was right. I don't want to be right. I want to be correct. And I'm telling you, that's what lies ahead for us. Tia, you wanted to say something.
I did. Thank you for reminding me. I almost forgot my question. But uh, why is it so hard for us to let go of the baggage that we've drug around for years and years and years? Because it weighs us down in many different ways, and it's a burden. And when we finally let go of that, it's you've asked me this question before. How long do you plan on holding on to that? Why is it that it's so hard for us to let go of something that we know isn't good for us to start with?
Right. So that's a very good question. Part of it has to do with the ego. Nobody likes to be criticized. Nobody likes to be put down. Nobody wants to be judged. But who the greatest judge in your life is? You. You are the greatest judge. You're the greatest critic. But look at this yourself. You're the director, producer, and scriptwriter of your life. Do you ever think about that? That's what you are. So here comes the ego. You don't want to be proved wrong. You don't want to be criticized. And the truth is, I will tell you, nobody likes to be criticized or judged. Nobody likes to be put down. But on the other hand, I'm just looking at the clock. On the other hand, what is occurring is that look at this as whatever's going on in your life, the pain, it's an opportunity to heal and release. I remember my mother said to me, wait till your father gets home. Boy, I was in fear. I would rather have the spanking now than live in fear that what's going to happen to me. We all experience that, or most of us have, right? And yet, that's the way it goes. The thought of releasing it or facing it is more fearful than going through it. So here you go. This is what happens. Imagine you get a sliver in your finger. Okay. So you try to pull it out. Then it gets infected. Then it becomes painful. And it needs to be lanced, but you don't want to do it because you don't want the pain. Then the finger grows bigger and bigger and it's full of infection and pus. And it hurts like heck. And you don't know what to do. And finally, you have to lance it because the pain is too excruciating. And you go, oh, this hurts. And the pus comes out, a little bit of blood. They go, ah, I feel much better. Why did I wait so long? That's an example that I use. What were you fearful of? What do you got to lose? I mean, you're carrying this albatross on your back, this 20-ton elephant. You got it on your back. It's impeding you, stopping you from going somewhere. So, isn't it time to get rid of it? And look at it that way. Then I don't miss, but I work with people, FOMO. I didn't know what that meant. Afraid of missing out. FOMO, FOMO. Oh, okay. Didn't know that. So here's FOMO. That person has to be the center of attention. Got to be with the group. Going to miss something. And they need accolades. They don't have self-worth, self-love, and self-esteem. Everything you do boils down to finitely. Self-worth, self-love, and self-esteem. Now, those who have been watching me for a while, I keep bringing it up. And why do I bring it up? Because everything in our life is like a funnel. It's coming closer, closer. Now you're at the precipice. You're ready to take a leap forward because you can't take the pain at all, the emotional pain. You can drink, you can watch TV, you can run, you can hide, you can do drugs. Doesn't go away. Still there over and over again, like a ton of bricks in your face. Then once you do that, you're cool. Release it. Now you're ready for the next step and the next step. Pretty soon, you're enjoying life. And you know how you're enjoying life? You're not running on vacations. You're not spending huge amounts of money. You're enjoying the moment, the beauty of the moment. You know, they say the best thing about fishing is just sitting there with a pole in the water and enjoying Mother Nature around you. Not about catching the fish. It's about sitting and relaxing. How often have you sat in your backyard or you took a walk in the park and just sat down and listened to the birds, watch the chipmunks or squirrels or rabbits, watch the kids playing and laughing and having a lot of fun, and they're not worried about anything. One of the most amazing things, little children, you know, let's say 4 or 5, 3, well, for my birthday, I want this. And you go, okay. Or I want Santa Claus to bring me this. Okay. They just know it's going to happen. They don't think maybe it's going to happen. Maybe it won't happen. They have no doubts. It's going to be there. I know it's going to be there because Santa Claus is going to bring it to me, or it's my birthday and it's going to come. That's what we've lost. We've lost the ability to trust and believe. We lost the ability to accept changes in our life. We lost the ability to believe in ourselves, that we create our life. We are the SOUL and SOLE creator of our lives. That's what we've lost. So we get tangled up in this web of doubt, insecurity, judgments, not feeling good about ourselves. By the way, guess who creates illness? Look at yourself in the mirror. You create the illness. Well, you go, Michael, why would I create a sore throat or cold or COVID virus or this or that or worse? You know how you created it? Because you won't let go. You will not let go of some anger, frustration that harmed you in the past. So, as I posted the other night, the past predicts the present, and the present predicts the future. And then I wrote, where are your thoughts? Think about that. So, the analogy I use is that I disliked Brussels sprouts. I hated them. And so my wife would make Brussels sprouts. She loved them. Blech. Even made her a Brussels sprouts, quiche to make just to surprise her. But I hated them. One day I'm over at my friend's house. He's got Brussels sprouts, and I groaned. But he took and roasted them with bacon, a little salt, olive oil, and I took some on a plate. Got to be polite. I said, "Oh my gosh, these are really good this way." So I learned something new. So the past didn't become the present because I no longer dislike Brussels sprouts. Now I like them, the present and the future. Now I know that sounds ridiculous, and it's really minute, but it's an easy way to explain something. It's so easy. So I know we're running a little close out of time, but I want all of you to understand that are you a slave of your fears or a master of your life? And that's a quote from the true source. Make that decision. Make that decision to let go and choose to have joy and happiness in your life. Stop running away from it. So, as we're ending now, to you, you have some important things I know you want to share. So, I'll give it back to you. You're on mute.
I'm sorry, I forgot about that part. I was so mesmerized by what you were saying. Are we a servant of our fears or the master of our life? And for the longest time, I was fearful. I was like caught in a prison, and then one day we were talking, and I realized that the prison door was never locked. I could have walked out anytime. And yeah, being a master of your life, yeah, there's speed bumps along the way, but oh my gosh, what a wonderful experience to be on this side of that prison cell. Thank you, Michael.
Thank
So
you.
on that note, what we're going to do now is Michael has some interesting things that we're going to share, because on Tuesday nights he has something that he does, and I would love for you to tell the people that are here visiting with us what you do Tuesday night.
Every Tuesday night, it's called Soul Awakening, and it's 6:30 p.m. Pacific time to 7:30 p.m. Pacific time. And it gives you an opportunity to ask any kind of questions you so desire. And hopefully I can answer them. And then I deliver a 10-minute motivational message. I think there are 272 or 273. But I would encourage you, ask the questions, learn and grow, because we can never stop learning. We can never stop growing. And that's what's so important. So to access that, all you need to do is dial.
Here's the number, and I also put it in the comments, okay? But it's 202-926-1059, and the access code, Michael?
125446 pound. I have fun with that.
One more time, 202-926-1059, and the code, Michael?
125446 pound. Using that same number and code, every Saturday, the second Saturday of every month, we do the mass consciousness healing, and it goes from 9:55 a.m. to 11:01 a.m. Pacific time. The telephone number is the same. Just would you mind repeat it one more time, please?
Be happy to. It's 202-926-1059, and the access code
is 125446 pound. The same thing. And then I call the replay of the words of wisdom. And that goes from number 3 all the way up to about 271, 273, something like that. Don't worry what number it is. Your soul, your higher self will say, well, I'll listen to number 29 or number 113 or 14. And then I get a feedback. Michael, I listened to that. Wow, it's just what I needed to hear. But they didn't know what it was. That's more important, because your soul will choose that. And those numbers are?
Okay, the recordings are at 434-300-4170, and the access code?
Same one, 125446 pound. So I would encourage all of you to listen to that. You're stuck in traffic. Things are going on. You're bored. You're depressed. You're angry, whatever. It'll really help enlightening and empower you. And one of the things I want to share with all of you is that, Tio and I share our books. And I will tell you why we share our books. We share our books because we believe that it will empower you, teach you about self-worth, self-love, and self-esteem. We're not here just to sell our books like, buy Tide laundry soap or whatever it is, or buy Coca-Cola. That's not our purpose. Our purpose is to enlighten you and empower you. That's why we do this. And this is Tia's book, Healing the Holes in Your Soul. And it's all about a woman who rises from the ashes like the phoenix. It's great reading. It's true. It's inspiring, and will help you to change your life. So I would encourage you to read that. And the spiritual primer, I know Tia wants to talk about that, but this is the second edition. So it has some additional information, and it has also the manifestation protocols. So I would encourage all of you, to read these 2 books to empower you. And if you don't want to, we love you anyway.
Okay, I have to add this, okay? If it wasn't for this book and the man right here next to me, that book that he's holding would not even exist. He has done so much in changing my life and teaching me the principles that he shares in the book. So on that note, we could go on and on and on, but I know that we're almost out of time, and I wanted to go ahead and also give everybody an opportunity to go over to Dr. Michael B. Gross on YouTube, because everything that we've recorded in the, over 2 years that we've been doing our Facebook Lives, it's hard to believe it's been 2 years, Michael, but his recorded calls are being placed on his YouTube channel, as well as all of the things that we've been doing on Facebook. So definitely go and subscribe to Dr. Michael B. Gross on YouTube, because the things that he shares are priceless. They're truly priceless, okay? And I just want everybody to have the opportunity to go in and do whatever they need to do to find that missing piece and wake up their own soul, because it's a beautiful journey when you get out of that prison, right?
Right. Thank you so much to you for your kind words. So I want to wish everybody a good day, a good evening, wherever you are. Please share this information. Tell others about what we're doing on YouTube and Words of Wisdom and Soul Awakening, because we're here. You're here for a reason, to learn about self-worth, self-love, and self-esteem, which you are the solution. You can make a difference on this planet. That's what's so important. That's why we're doing this, for you to wake up and notice you can make a difference. So
I hate to have to throw this into, this is a shareable link. If you have friends that are struggling and they don't know about us, okay, share this link with them, because Michael's wisdom can also help them. You know, we don't know who's out there that needs what Michael offers to help us with, but definitely feel free. You have our blessings to share this link and invite your friends to the call-in and to the Thursday night session and all the other things that we just gave you, okay? Because this is a priceless gift that Michael gives all of us. And I just wanted to let everyone know that it's well worth that time. It's only half an hour. And on that note, I know I've gone over a little bit. So any last minute words, Michael, because we have to get going.
Well, no, thank you very much for joining us. And if you wonder what I'm drinking, it's chicken soup for the soul. So that's what I'm doing, having chicken soups. Everyone, have a great week. Just remember, we love you, and you are unlimited. Namaste. Thank you, everyone.
Namaste.
Love
Thank
you.
you so much.